Hey, this is Dustin with Boomers Outdoors, and I'm going to do something today that I thought I would never do. I'm going to do a review on a tent brand that I've told people on several occasions that they should not buy. But somebody bought this for me at Christmas, and I intended to take it back. But once I opened it up and looked at it, I thought, wow, this actually looks like a pretty good tent. I'm going to do a review on the Ozark Trail one-person lightweight backpacking tent. Here's the thing. Am I going to have to eat my words? Well, stay with me and find out whether or not this is a good budget backpacking tent. So what do you get with Ozark Trail one-person lightweight backpacking tent? Well, let's open it up. First of all, you get a stuff sack that's got compression straps and everything, and it's really way bigger than you need for this tent. So you can ditch it. As you can see, the tent is not that large. So let's go over it. First of all, let's go over the poles. You get one Y pole, and it is aluminum, which with really cheap tents you often don't get. They look like DAC poles to me, but the website doesn't say whether they are or not. Probably not, but they are probably 9.5 millimeter poles, and they're really nice looking poles actually. You get 9 aluminum stakes, which are V stakes, and they're not bad actually, and 3 guy ropes. Then you get the body and fly of the tent. The fly of the tent, which is gray and orange, is made out of a 190T polyester, and it has a 1200 millimeter hydrostatic head rating on it. The body of the tent is made of B3 mesh, polyester mesh, and then it's also made of 190T polyester. The floor is made of 210 polyester. It's a little bit heavier, and it has a 2000 millimeter hydrostatic head rating on it. So let's get this thing set up and see what it looks like. Okay, let's do a quick walk around the body. One thing I didn't mention was there is a sewn-in brow poe right at the middle of the top of the body, and it is aluminum also. I didn't know how I felt about that at first, but you know, it doesn't bother me. It actually is only about 12 inches long, and it folds up with the tent really nicely. In fact, I kind of use it as a guide for rolling up the tent. The door on it is substantial. It's got a nice door on it. But let's talk about the measurements. How big is the body of this tent? Okay, so what are the dimensions on this tent? Now, the website is incorrect. It says this tent is 51 inches by 82 inches by 39 high, but that's not really true. I don't know where they get those measurements. It is 82 inches in length, but the head of the tent is 39 inches, the foot of the tent is 25 inches. And the height I get in here from measuring it is 38. So it's not quite as big as they say it is. Maybe they're measuring the fly. I don't know where they got those. You do have one pouch right up here at the head of the tent for storage, and you've got one hook right here under the brow pole, which is sewn in right there, if you want to hang a lantern. Well, let's get the fly on this thing and see what it looks like with the fly. So here's the tent with the fly on it, and it does take 6 stakes to set it up. 1 for each corner, 1 on the back of the fly, and 1 in the vestibule. A couple of other neat things about this fly is it does have a vent on the front and back of the fly, and they do have rigid stays. Some of these stays on these tents are like this real flimsy. These are actually rigid. There's also Velcro on the vent in case you need to close it. Something else I like about this tent, and this is unusual, you don't see this a lot of times on cheaper tents, and that's a diagonal zipper on the fly. And that makes it much easier to unzip the tent from inside. Now, I will tell you, the vestibule is not huge on this tent. That could be a con considering it. And you could just reach out even if it was in the middle and unzip it, but that is just a real neat feature. Now, I will tell you, there's not a channel There's a rain flap, but not a rain channel. So if you've got water in this tent and you unzip it, you're gonna have water drip down into your tent, just to let you know that, with that diagonal zipper. Okay, here's a question. How much does this tent weigh? Well, there's confusion on the website. In one place it says 4.1 pounds, in two other places it says 3.65 pounds. I've weighed this puppy about 10 times, and I come up with 3 pounds, 8 ounces every time I weigh it, or 3.5 pounds. Now, if you get rid of the 3 extra stakes, 3 extra guy ropes, and the stuff bags that are all oversized, it gets it down to about 3.2 pounds, which is not too bad. But here's a $100,000 question about this tent is, will it leak in a rainstorm? Is it waterproof? Well, watch this, and then I'll get back with you. And I've got it set up because I'm going to do a rain test. Now, to be quite honest with you, this may not be a fair test because we have severe thunderstorms, possibly even tornadic storms headed this way. I've already looked at the radar and it's coming, and it's gonna be a deluge. So I've got it staked out and all the guy points just to make sure, hopefully it doesn't blow away. But I did close the vents just to be fair, because this is gonna be a high wind rain event. And I'm gonna see if this puppy leaks. If it makes it through this without leaking, I'll be impressed, to be honest with you. Substantial amount of rain last night. The tent seems to have held up well during the storms, and it was storming, thunder, lightning, high winds, and a ton of rain. But did it leak? Let's go inside and find out. Well, I can say, except for a couple of drops that fell off the fly right here, and this fly with this diagonal zip does have that tendency to let some water come off and drop right in there when you open it. And I think that is true with most diagonal tents. I think some do like a drain here, like the MSR, to keep it from doing that. But no, this tent did not leak. 100% waterproof. That's impressive, for sure. So this tent definitely did not leak during the rainstorm. And that brings me to my first pro. It is waterproof. The second thing I like about it is the ease of setup. Stake in the 4 corners, put in the Y pole, put the fly on, buckle it in, stake out the back of the fly, stake out the vestibule, 6 stakes and you're done. I also like the overall design. I like the brow pole, which opens it up and gives you shoulder room. I like the oversized door that makes it easy for someone like me, 6'2", to get in and out. And then the overall construction of this tent. All the seams are double stitched. The seams on the inside of the fly are taped impeccably. The poles in this tent are aluminum. And that's really good because most cheap tents are gonna have fiberglass poles that are much heavier and prone to break. It also has nice stakes. And then the overall weight, 3 pounds, 8 ounces, that's not bad. If you get rid of the extra guy ropes and stakes and the oversized stuff sacks, it gets it down to about 3 pounds, 2 ounces. But then there's the biggest pro. This tent retails for $64.97. Now I know that sounds crazy, but that's what I paid for it, and that's what it regularly sells for. This may very well be the least expensive, viable backpacking tent on the market. But are there any cons on this tent? Well, there's a couple. First of all, it does weigh 3 pounds, 8 ounces. And for some people that would be too heavy, but I don't think that's bad. Secondly, it is made of polyester. Polyester is your entry-level material for backpacking tents or tents in general, but this is a 190T polyester, which is pretty good. And then the fact that it's 82 inches in length. Now, if you're sleeping on a 4-inch sleeping pad, that's lifting you up, and you notice it's curved at the foot and the head. So that's gonna narrow it in. I would say this tent is best for people that are 6 feet tall and under. I'm 6'2", and on a 4-inch sleeping pad, my head and feet are gonna be near the ends. And then there's one other thing I noticed. There is a seam in the bathtub floor. Now it is taped and it didn't leak during the rainstorm, but that does give me a little cause for concern. But do I think that this is a good one-person backpacking tent? Yes, I do. Would I take it backpacking? Yes, I would. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna eat my words. Ozark Trail does make a decently good one-person backpacking tent. There it is, I said it. But what do you think? What do you think about this tent? Do you have this tent? If you do, leave me some comments in the comment field. Or if you have another Ozark Trail tent, let me know how it's held up for you. Or if you have any questions about this particular model that I didn't answer, then I would love to answer those for you. And I want to ask you to do me a favor. If you haven't done so, would you please consider subscribing to our account? Or our channel. It doesn't cost you a thing, it's free. But I found out through doing some analytics that only about 5% of the people that watch our channel are subscribed. So it'd be a great encouragement both to Karen and I if you hit that subscribe button. I want to thank you for watching, and I hope to see you out on the trail sometime. Bye.